From gorgonias to rhododendrons, from dolphins to wolves. Within a radius of a few kilometers, the landscape changes completely, revealing extraordinary treasures between the mountain peaks and the sea. These are the parks of Liguria, little gems of nature scattered along the mountains that face the Mediterranean. We will discover them together along the high road of the Ligurian Mountains, a spectacular excursion route that stretches over 400 kilometers inland, mainly along the watershed divide that outlines the region's coastal slope, passing through the heart of the great regional nature parks and connecting to other protected areas by way of specially constructed byways. I, the golden eagle, the queen of raptors, will be your guide on this unforgettable adventure through the natural beauties of Liguria. Let's return to the high road and continue our journey through the mountains of Liguria. We're now heading towards the highest slopes of the Ligurian Apennines, protected by the Aveto Park. The entry to the deep Aveto Valley is the Telepaths. The master of this area is the sparrowhawk, who will show you one of the most interesting landscapes in all of Liguria.
The mountains in the upper Aveto Valley belong to the Tyrrhenian Po Ridge and culminate with Mount Majorasca and Mount Penna. Much of these mountains are included in the protected area that also extends to the Apennine slope towards the sea, taking in parts of the Stura and Graveglia valleys. The extraordinary variety of the park's landscape is due to the presence of very different rock formations. The highest mountains, like Majorasca, Penna and Iona, are formed from compact, very resilient ophiolites, which reveal harsh slopes, vertical drops, crests and pointed crags. The surrounding reliefs are formed by softer sedimentary rocks and have gentler contours completely covered by woods. One of the most interesting areas from a nature standpoint is undoubtedly the Agoraie Nature Reserve, located roughly 1,300 metres above sea level on the northwest slope of Mount Iona. The landscape features a large hollow formed by glaciers dotted with lakes fed by several springs. The abundance of fresh water year-round creates peat bogs and wet fields. These conditions, together with the low winter temperatures, allow many species to survive, which are generally found in much higher elevations or are typical of northern Europe. Of special interest, for example, is the presence of marsh club moss, a small plant that actually existed in the Paleozoic period, which in the Apennines is only found here. A carnivorous plant, the round-leaf sundew is fairly common around these lakes. As they live in environments with very little nitrogen, these ingenious plants get their nutrients by eating insects. The tiny, modified leaves are equipped with purplish hairs that secrete a viscous liquid to trap insects before digesting them. A pair of mallards is busy establishing a family. The paterfamilias is worried about a marsh harrier flying overhead in migration and sounds the alarm. The largest body of water is Lago degli Abetti, Fir Tree Lake. It takes its name from some silver fir trunks lying on the lake bottom. These trunks are still wood, not as yet petrified, though they have been carbon dated to over 2,600 years ago. The explanation for this phenomenon is the low temperature and the scarce content of dissolved salts in the lake water. Except for the layers closest to the surface, the water temperature is a constant 4 to 5 degrees Celsius. In this environment, 3 species of newt exist simultaneously: the Alpine newt, common newt, and crested newt. As evidence of glacial eras of the past, the common frog populates the lakes and peat bogs in the park, heedless of the snow and ice that still covers the lakes. Quite common in the Alps, even higher than 2,000 metres and above the Arctic Circle, they are found in Liguria, along with numerous species of reptiles. The vast expanses of woods in the park are home to many wild animals. Another amphibian is a curious Apennine denizen, the spectacled salamander. Right before my eyes, a young fox ventures out of its lair in search of its first prey. The wolf, the region's most elusive mammal, is now quite common to the park. Thanks to the presence of many hoofed animals, this large carnivore finds enough food to survive in the protected area. The badger, a large omnivorous mustelid, is also fairly common in the area. He goes out at dusk and night time, and only rarely ventures out to forage in daylight. Badgers are protected in this area. Before we say goodbye, I also want to show you something I'm especially proud of. Here, high up in an old oak tree, I've built my nest which holds 3 little chicks.